Aloha anglers. Sunday morning, I'm out here floating solo. So I came out to my number one spot. A lot of times the weather predictions have been wrong. Supposed to call for a lot of rain, get no rain, call for no rain, get a little rain, call for a little rain, get a ton of rain. So water's up a little bit at my spot, which is fine. Hasn't really affected the clarity. And got super calm conditions right now. So I'm gonna come out here and try to throw top water while overcasted skies, and probably give it a little bit of a walking presentation today. A little subtle top water presentation that seems to be the ticket out here for these fish. They like to just kind of sit back, curiously watch the bait before they decide to strike. I'm gonna do that. With it being calm, I know that I'm gonna be able to turn towards a Senko or finesse style worm if I choose so. I've already got some topwater activity, which is really nice. I had something huge jump as I was putting the boat out in the water, but I believe it was the beaver smacking his tail, but I'm not 1,000% sure on that. So y'all stay along, float this out with me. Hopefully I got some good catches to show y'all, share with y'all. So I'm about to get at it. They are calling my name on this top of this surface, so I'll be back.
Oh my gosh, bro.
I'm gonna fill y'all in a little bit more on what I'm throwing today. So I'm gonna start off throwing this topwater walking spook. It's a lure made by Boeing company that I believe is out of business. You no longer can get the product, but tungsten weight that's in there that gives it a very unique knock. It is the only lure that I have that has that kind of knock. I'm throwing it on a little bit of a new combo for me. I have a ton of rod and reels, guys, and I don't really get around to using all of them. I'm throwing this on an Ike 7-foot medium. It's a delay series. A delay meaning that it has a lot of give in this tip. It's something that you would like throw treble hooks with. It's more designed for crankbaits, but it is an all-purpose setup. So it's got a lot of bend in that tip, not a lot of backbone. So it's going to allow me to just kind of lean into that fish and not pull those trebles out of his mouth. I have thrown it with crankbaits. I have thrown it with smaller topwaters, but we'll see what happens with this bigger plug. I am prepared to get rid of it if maybe it walks. I can't control the walk. I can't get it to do what I want it to do. I'm throwing it on an 8-gear ratio Revo MGX. It's a kind of a lighter reel for me. Not a lot of drag, not necessary out here. But yeah, braid for all my topwaters. Just had a fish come up, smack it. And I'm 1,000% sure it was a GAR. I have caught more GAR out here this year on topwaters maybe than I have bass. Only been fishing this spot. This is my second year fishing this spot. That was not an issue the first year out here. Kind of sucks. It's a great cast. I've got a GAR, y'all. I had a really delayed hook set because I had the feeling. It's every time I come fishing. He's not even hooked. The line is wrapped around his nose. Nah, he's jacked up now. Yeah, open your freaking mouth, you loser. Thank you. Get my line out of your freaking mouth. Get out of here. A lot of people call me top water master. It's what I love to do. This place has made me a much better fisherman like I was when I first started fishing, and I didn't have a strong technique developed yet. You know, I just fish plastics, you know, fish spinner baits, fish some crankbaits, fish chatterbaits, fish topwaters, fish frogs, you know, just kind of get well-rounded in a lot of different styles of fishing. And then you find the style that you like the most, and, you know, you find yourself fishing it the most, you know, going places to frog fish because you enjoy topwater bites, blow-ups. That's what I kind of did. I mean, I got real heavy into Cincos for a while. Then I got stupid heavy into spinner baits. It was like that's all I would throw. And once it switched to top waters, it stayed there for a very, 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 very long time. And this place forced me to start to figure out what I needed to do to be a better fisherman. And here I am throwing a top water just because it makes sense that they should be biting it. I've seen so much activity on top, but the bass, if you have to blow up on them, it's just the bait everywhere. So I just feel like there's a point where that alarm's going to go off for that bass and it's feeding time, and I want to have my lure there when that happens. When I walk a top water, you know, it's very important after your cast to allow that ripple to fully almost disappear. I mean, you want to give it a lot of time to totally get away from your lure. If you did happen to, you know, maybe a late spawn, early post spawn, if you happen to throw right on top of a bed, you know, let that bait sit there. Let that fish got spooked. Let them swim away. You know, if you've ever watched a fish on a bed, you know, they will abandon that bed. And I mean, you could probably count to 10 and here they are coming right back on that bed. So give that fish that chance to come back to it. You know, right when you start your cadence, bringing that lure back into the boat. And you never want to do the same kind of retrieve. Talking about when you're twitching your bait. You know, you want to do a walk, 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 pause, walk, pause, walk, walk, pause, walk, 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 pause, walk, pause, walk, walk, pause. You know, you never just want to walk, 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 pause, walk, 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 pause, walk, 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 pause, walk, 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 pause, walk, walk, pause. To me, it seems like you mix it up, you know, you have the best result. I'm pretty sure I just had another gar hit my bait, totally threw it out of the water. Bait did a flip. And I threw back over there like an idiot. I really don't want to catch another gar. If I catch another gar, top water is being put down and they're not being picked up the rest of the day. And I have a ton left to fish. I'm about to throw a frog. You know, the frog has a very subtle presentation to it, which is good for these calm water conditions. So it could work pretty good. Beautiful. Beautiful, guys. That's what you like to see. That's what you like to see. I mean, bigger fish. But as always, catch and release on this channel. So my frog setup is one of my favorite combos that I have. 6 cents, Team 6, 7.2, heavy, moderate fast tip. Got this carbon fiber rod grip. I have a 8 gear ratio, Daiwa Zillion HD. Most of my braid is Power Pro Max Quattro. I like the Max Quattro. Because when it came out, man, it's been out probably 10 years now. Their big selling point was 25% thinner diameter. So you could get 65-pound strength braid with a 50-pound braid diameter. You could get more line on the spool, cast it better, but not compromise the strength of that braid. You know, I never went to 80-pound to have the traditional, you know, most people like 65-pound braid when throwing frogs. I never went with that. Never felt like I needed the 80-pound strength, because I feel that, you know, 65-pound strength is plenty. Some of my walking baits, I do throw like a 40-pound braid on, but it's the diameter of 30-pound braid, and I've never really had any issues whatsoever with it. This frog is a Norris. I think it's like they call it like an NF60. It's a weird name. I caught my PB on a Norris. I'm not even gonna try to say the name. I just pretty much call it a poppin' shrimp. So kind of crazy. I've been, you know, throwing some topwater plugs and threw wake bait for a little bit. Catch a GAR. Swap over to a holly body frog right away. You know, and hook up with a bass. Like I said, my PB was caught on a frog. My buddy's PB for the longest time was on a frog as well. I've not caught a GAR on a frog. You know, I've caught them on frogs out here in February. Frog tip. It's very important if you can get away with it. Never try to land your frog where you intend to cast. Meaning, if you've got like a little clump of vegetation or a limb or a stick or a log that you've targeted, and if you can, I mean, you can't do it if you're on a lake, if you're out in the middle of the lake, but if you're on a bank line, try to throw that frog on that bank, right past that structure, right beside that structure. You know, most times bass being an ambush predator, that frog's just jumping along the bank and he decides to jump out in the water, swim across, and you know, that frog jumps in, creates a splash, gets that bass's attention, you know, swims one or two little strokes, gets eaten. So I always find myself trying to throw on the bank and walk that frog out into the water. Make it as real as possible. Don't spook the fish. I know we all think to do that, but it is kind of hard to rework your brain when you pick up different lures. Oh, hey, I've got a frog. Let me not throw this bait in the water. Let me throw it on the land. That's a tip that'll help you catch more fish. Better fish. On Cinco, y'all decided to go finesse. See if we can find some bigger fish than that.